Hello, my name is Kindson Munonye, and today we begin our discussion on project time management. Previously in our presentations, we concluded with project scope management when we discussed validate scope and control scope. Today we'll start discussion on project time management. Of course, we'll start with the first process, and that is plan schedule management. Remember, all knowledge areas begin with a planning process. Like in project time management, we have plan schedule management. This is a little peculiar because when we will call this knowledge area project time management, but then sometimes we replace the word time with schedule. For instance, when we have project cost management, the first process will be project plan cost management, but this time we have plan schedule management. So get used to it as we move along. Project time management includes the processes required to manage the timely completion of the project. Project schedule development uses outputs from the processes to define activities, sequence activities, estimate activity resources, estimate activity durations, in combination with the scheduling tool to produce the schedule model. With time, we'll come to find out what really is the schedule model. And the finalized and approved schedule is the baseline that will be used in the control schedule process. So, distinguishing the project schedule presentation from the schedule data and calculation that produce the project schedule is practiced by referring to the scheduling tool populated with project data as the schedule model. What are we saying here? We are saying that we have a project schedule, we also have a schedule model, and we also have schedule data. Now, what is the difference? The presentation, what you present into stakeholders, what you keep as a baseline that you measure your process against is called a schedule. So this schedule is developed from the schedule model. Now, what is the schedule model? The schedule model is a representation of the plan for executing the project activities, including durations, dependencies, and other planning information used to produce project schedules along with other scheduling artifacts. Okay, so we have that the schedule model is more encompassing, contains more data than the project schedule itself. Okay, so we have the schedule model, which is the presentation, plus all the artifacts, all the details, all the information like duration information, dependencies, other planning information, all of them come together to form the schedule model. Along the line, we get a clearer understanding of this. Let's now look at the project time management processes. The first one is project schedule management. The first one is plan schedule management, and this is the process of establishing the policies, procedures, and documentation for planning, developing, and managing, executing, and controlling the project schedule. So, plan schedule management, you develop the process you will follow, you document it, and lay down all the procedures you want to follow to control, plan, and manage your project schedule. The next process in this knowledge area is define activities, and this process identifies and documents the specific actions to be performed to produce the project deliverables. When time comes, we'll see that define activities has something to do with the work breakdown structure. Because at this time in work breakdown structure, we mentioned that the entire work of the project is broken down or decomposed into activities, into chunk of activities that are called work packages, which is the lower level of the work breakdown structure. But now we are talking about activities has to be defined, and this is done in the project time management. The third process is sequence activities. And this is the process of identifying and documenting relationships among project activities. Estimate activity resources. You estimate the type and quantities of resources, be it material resources, human resources, equipment, supplies, etc. The resources that will be used to perform the activities will be estimated at this time. The next process looks into estimating the duration, the number of work periods needed to complete individual project activities with the estimated resources. Then comes the develop schedule process, very important process that analyzes activity sequences, durations, resource requirements, and schedule constraints to create the project schedule. When the project schedule is created in this last planning process, it will now serve as a baseline against which project performance will be controlled and monitored. We just have one monitoring and executing process for project time management, and that is control schedule, the process of monitoring the status of the project activities to update the project progress and manage changes to the schedule baseline to achieve the plan. So when you are controlling schedule, you are measuring the project performance, comparing it with the schedule baseline. Is it in line with the time that have been planned? And you make adjustments as needed. Let's now take a closer look at these processes and see how we get a clearer understanding of them. The first one we are going to look at is plan schedule management. Plan schedule management is the process of establishing the policies, procedures, and documentation for planning, developing, managing, and executing and controlling the project schedule. The benefit of the plan schedule management process is that it provides guidance and direction on how the project schedule will be managed throughout the project. Alright, let's continue. The schedule management plan is an output of the plan schedule management process, and the schedule management plan is a component or a sub-plan of the project management plan. The schedule management plan may be formal or informal. It may be highly detailed or broadly framed based upon the needs of the project, and includes appropriate control thresholds. The schedule management plan defines how schedule contingencies will be reported and assessed. The schedule management plan may be updated to reflect a change in the way the schedule is managed. The schedule management plan is a major input to the developed project management plan process. Let's now take a look at the inputs, the tools and techniques, and the outputs of the plan schedule management process. We do need the project management plan, the project charter, enterprise environmental factors, and organizational process assets. These are the 4 inputs needed, and we have 3 tools and techniques: expert judgments, analytical techniques, and meetings. The plan schedule management process produces just one output, and that is the schedule management plan. Let's now look at these inputs and how they apply. The project management plan rightly is an input to plan schedule management. Remember, we are talking of plan schedule management, not plan time management. So take notes. So this is not plan time management, but plan schedule management is the actual process. The knowledge area is project schedule, project time management knowledge area, but the process is plan schedule management. So there is a switch from the name in the knowledge area, which uses time, and the name of the process, which uses schedule. So the project management plan is an input to plan schedule management. The project management plan contains baselines. For instance, it contains a scope baseline, which is made up of the project scope statements, the WBS and the WBS dictionary. The project management plan also contains other informations related to costs, for instance the baseline, the risk management plan, and other information needed to plan the schedule management process. We also need project charter as input to plan schedule management, because project charter defines the summary milestone schedule and the project approval requirements that will influence the management of the project schedule. We do need enterprise environmental factors, and some of them are organizational culture, resource availability, project management software, published commercial information, and organizational work authorization systems. These are enterprise environmental factors that can affect the plan schedule management process. And of course we have organizational process assets as input to plan schedule management, and they may be historical information, schedule control tools, templates, etc., etc. The tools and techniques are expert judgment, we've discussed before. You simply have to get expertise from maybe stakeholders, from subject matter experts, professionals who are knowledgeable in the discipline related to the project on ground, and they will help in the planning of the schedule management process. We have meetings. Project team may hold planning meetings to develop the schedule management plan. And then we have analytical techniques. Plan schedule management process may involve choosing a strategic option to estimate the schedule and schedule the project, such as scheduling methodology, scheduling tools and techniques, estimating approaches, formats, and project management software. The schedule management plan may also detail ways to fast track or crash the project schedule, such as undertaking work in parallel. So all these are techniques, analytical techniques, which may include the rolling wave planning, leads and lags, alternatives analysis, and methods for reviewing the schedule performance. All these are part of the analytical techniques that may be applied in plan schedule management. And we have just one single output for the plan schedule management process, and that is schedule management plan. The schedule management plan is a component of the project management plan and establishes the criteria and activities for developing, monitoring, and controlling the schedule. The schedule management plan may be formal or informal, detailed, highly detailed, or broadly framed based on the needs of the project, and include appropriate control thresholds. The schedule management plan can establish project schedule model development, level of accuracy, units of measure, organizational procedures link, and also project schedule model maintenance. Control threshold will also be established by the schedule management plan, and that has to do with variance thresholds for monitoring schedule performance may be specified to indicate an agreed upon amount of variation to be allowed before some actions needs to be taken. Alright, the schedule management plan goes ahead to establish rules of measurement. Rules of performance measurement, for instance, end value measurements or other physical measurement rules. The schedule management plan may specify rules for establishing percent complete control accounts at which management of progress and schedule will be measured, end value measurement techniques, etc., etc. The schedule management plan may also establish reporting formats, process descriptions, and other necessary details. So this is where we are wrapping it up on the project time management knowledge area. I'll take you back to the ITTO's page so that you get used to it. I'd like to thank you very much for joining me, and please join me in my next presentation as I'm going to discuss define activities.